Fellas, you know Degree Cool Rush deodorant, right? Well, last year they changed the formula, and guys were mad about it. One dude even started a petition. So guess what? Degree heard us, admitted they messed up, and brought the original Cool Rush scent back exactly how it was. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So grab some and remember why its cool, crisp, and fresh scent made it the #1 men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory for all of us.
Auto insurance can all seem the same until it comes time to use it. So don't get stuck paying more for less coverage. Switch to USAA Auto Insurance and you could start saving money in no time. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply.
USAA. Hilton brings you new ways to stay with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to High School Hoops with your hosts, Steve Collins and Jake Stager.
All right, welcome to High School Hoops. I don't even know what episode anymore. I'm not even gonna attempt. I'm done with winter. Coach Collins done with winter person. Before we jump in, seriously, I would like to give a big shout out. I'm going somewhere warm when I retire. I'm just telling you. We can do this.
You just bought a lake house in Wisconsin. You ain't going anywhere.
I'm going. What are you talking about? I'm going south. I'm going south from January to. Oh,
that's right. Then you can go up north in the summer.
In the summer, unless I move out where James or Bill are in like San Francisco area, which I probably can't afford, or the same. So, but I'll come visit you, James, if you're listening to this. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh,
you're talking about our sponsors.
Sponsors. First of all, Dr. Dish, the #1 shooting machine in the market. So I'm a stats teacher. I'm going to give you an observational study. The reason we went on part of our winning streak is because of Dr. Dish and the shooting machines. Like we were not and you've watched our film. We were not shooting the ball well early in the season.
And your kids right now are hitting some big shots and with distance and confidence.
But it's reps. It's just reps. So yeah, I'm not using it the way I should be. To be honest with you, I'm using it to get reps right now. In the summer, I use it for different types of shots, and we've moved on from reps to some passes and some dribbling stuff. But early when I was using them, it was like what if you know anything about Dr. Dish, the tempo is what you want to deal with. So I moved the tempo to 1, which means it shoots and then it's like fast because I want to get as many shots up as I can. And I'm just telling you from an observational, it's helped us win games. I mean, I got 3 of them in I used 2. The third one's a little bit old. But I bet we get 1,000 shots up before practice every day because of Dr. Dish. So, mention High School Hoops, Coach Unplugged, and you'll get $350 or not $400 off. It's 2022. What am I talking about? $400 off. Also, go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. Lots of great things. Coaches working on some stuff for me. I have a bunch of other coaches working on some stuff. I have a laundry list of stuff that I'm going to be putting up.
And Steve, I would say that there's a variety of different things. So like, I know we're really towards high school, but like a lot of my stuff too, I've had a lot of hits on my motion offense, and it's like 50,000 hits. So I'm trying to gear towards some of that and some of this and this. So you're going to get a bunch of different things. So when
right. And that's one of the things I'm thinking about this summer is I want a whole youth section because I got so many youth coaches that reach out to me, and I want to be able to be specific with them and youth. Not that you can't do stuff that we're doing, but there's other stuff that you need. So jump in now before prices increase because I got to pay people and I got to buy Coach more stuff for his classroom. So
that's all I want, buddy. That's all I want.
I need to take my wife out to dinner so I get to keep coaching. So
you want to live in the South in the summer.
The problem is she saw the non-Steve coaching and how, even though it's the middle of COVID, how relaxed Steve was and how available Steve was. It was like, crap. It's like she only knew me as a head coach and very busy. And now she cracked that door open and saw like the non-coach Steve. It's like, shoot. That was shoot, not the bad word. So I don't have to put explicit on the podcast. Anyway. All right. So what's today's topic, Coach?
So like I said, we built off what we did last week, which is approaches to playoff in real time. We kind of used what you're dealing with and not dealing with what you have this season. And then we're looking at how we can mentor high school coaches in regards to practice playoffs, the structure of it, some things that you definitely should cover, things that you probably don't want to cover, things that you might want to eliminate from your practice plan at this point in the season that it might not be as important because you're looking to win one game at a time. And obviously it's really about winning that next game. So what does that practice look like?
So there's a couple things. First of all, it's all about matchups.
Right.
Period. High school basketball is about matchups. Coach can vouch for this. There's teams we've beaten. There's teams we can't seem to beat. And it's about their specific players versus my specific players. So practice planning, couple things with practice planning that we do. We do a lot of situation work this time of year, a lot of situation work. We try to shorten the on-court time, not practice time per se, because like I was telling Coach the other day, we had like an hour and 20-minute film session, which is fine. They can sit and, shoot, they're on their TikToks for 17 hours a day. They can sit and watch an hour of themselves playing basketball. So the key to a good film session is teaching and engagement. Like I'm always asking them, what do you see? What did you do? How do you feel about that? And I'm having them write things like when we go in, we'll probably, I don't know, we're late on Tuesday. So we'll do a film session next Tuesday. We'll do a film session.
Halliday presents in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated weed whacker guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner by knockout is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
We have late practice. And the first thing I'll do in the film session is write 3 things we did well, 3 things we didn't do well in the last game. And then we'll talk about it. And they're all raising their hand. It's great. And then we'll go, all right, tell me something about our next opponent. Because we've already played them once. What do you know about them? Write that in their notebooks. And then, so we're always engaging them in that.
I think, again, we talked about tournament time is a mental approach, right?
It is.
And so the more you talked about situational, which, it is about executing, but it is a mental thing. Good situations are a mental approach. If you're not prepared mentally for that situation, you're not going to be. And then, the film and then discussions, it's really about that mental approach.
Yep. And I think you got to think about it in terms of buckets of stuff. So right. What we will do is once you know your opponents, quote unquote, like down the trail, like if you're the NCAA and you get your 64 teams, you kind of know who you're going to go. Look at your buckets and eliminate stuff in those buckets that you do not think you're going to need. If you're the first 2 teams you're going to play you're going to play man, don't work. You still got your zones in and the kids know them. You've been running them for 3 months. You can always pull them out of your back pocket if you need to, but don't spend time on them is what I'm saying. Time is a precious commodity. Spend time on things that you think you can score on and things that will be effective for those opponents. Because that's an easy sell to the boys too. It's like, man, we've been working on this. We know it. Like, if you need a boxing one or you need something specific, I just think it's an easy sell and it's an easy way of doing it. I would go and try to shorten practices. I would also try to make some fun stuff because you might have a long stretch here. Depending on your team, we over winter break, we do a lot of fun stuff, but come tournament time, they know it's a big game and they know it's going to be nerve wracking. So anything you can do to alleviate that and tell them that they're ready for their tests and tell them they're ready for their quiz and that they're ready for the next opponent will help alleviate some of that. It's a self-confidence thing. It's a coach has gotten us ready. We've gotten ready. We got this. I'm walking into my econ final in college and I know I'm going to ace it because I've spent the last week and a half getting ready for it, kind of thing. So I think those are important as far as.
So I'll write down a couple things that I wrote down just from shooting and free throw reps at an all-time high. Definitely got to be in your practice plan. If you're going to look at skill development base, I wouldn't work on ball handling and stuff like that. I would focus on the two things, and you're more of in tune with rebounding within what you do. But with rebounding and then taking care of the basketball turnovers, if you want to spend any 5-10 minute tidbits on skill development, those are the two areas I would focus on, because those are two things that really alter possessions within the course of a game. And so, you want to maximize your possessions in the playoffs. And then, those are kind of the other things you might want to put in if you're talking about, skill development or repetition, and then making sure you get lots of shots up.
Lots of shots, lots of things that are making them think. Yes. And I think all of that is important moving, and you got to be, I was telling another coach, a teachhoops.com member, that you basically got to be a marketing guru. You got to market this thing. Like I've been talking to our guys about, we're going to win. We're as good as any of the, I mean, you got to market, you got to sell, you got to convince them. Maybe even if they're not, that they are. Right
now it's you're 0-0, right? And then the next game you're 1-0, and the next game you're 2-0. It's a brand new season. It's how you sell it. You could be. I agree. It's really about building that. That product.
It's smoke and mirrors, baby. It's smoke and mirrors, and that's what you have to be. You have to be able to do that and use a little magic, to be honest with you, and sell them.
So here's my question. Maybe this will be the next topic. How do you prepare in advance for that next opponent? Is that something that we could talk about next time?
Oh, I think that's a good. I think.
Okay, so you've went on your state tournament runs, right? So we know in reality, right, we're going to either face, once this thing is out, what do we do next? You obviously have to do some delegation, because you can't do it all. Is one of your coaches? I'll stop talking, but I think that's a good topiip.
I think that's a good topic. Let's do that next week. Let's do that next week. All right.
Next week. So our next week topic is how to prepare or pre-plan for your next opponent.
How to get ready for the entire trail. I think that's a good topic. Okay. All right. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
This country was built on a distinctly American work ethic. But today, work is in trouble. We've outsourced most of our manufacturing to other countries. And with that, we sent away good jobs and diminished our capability to make things. American Giant is a clothing company that's pushing back against this tide. They make a variety of high-quality clothing and activewear, like sweatshirts, jeans, dresses, jackets, and so much more. All made right here in the USA. From growing the cotton to adding the final touches. So when you buy American Giant, you create jobs for seamsters, cutters, and factory workers in towns and cities across the United States. And it's about more than an income. Jobs bring pride, purpose. They stitch people together. If all that sounds good to you, visit American-Giant.com and get 20% off your first order when you use code STAPLE20 at checkout. That's 20% off your first order at American-Giant.com with promo code STAPLE20.